Once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages, you're now tuned into the Investor Show. Let me put this in here real quick. So today we're going to be talking about the stocks remain flat. The Biden bill is in the spotlight coming on Wednesday, and we're talking about the bank stocks that tumble. So the big thing is with the Biden bill, he's doing infrastructure stocks. So infrastructure stocks, what's going to benefit? What's in that Biden bill? How can they benefit investors? Stock market still kind of remaining kind of flat sideways in its feelings a little bit. And we're seeing bank stocks take a tumble with Credit Susie. So we're going to take a look at that as well. But ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't done so, go ahead and make sure. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell icon. Hit that like, comment, and share button. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages, you are now tuned into the Investor Show as always. This is your gracious host, the Prince of Investing, Prince Dykes, coming to you guys and girls live all the way from the beautiful city and state of Denver, Colorado. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, comment, and share button. And as always, I don't have a lot of time, and I definitely know you guys and girls don't have a lot of time, so we are going to jump straight into it. Give me 1 second. Let me get my... Sorry about that noise there. But want to get my microphone a little bit better there to make sure I was good to go for this evening. So it's going to be a little bit of a lengthy episode. You know, I forgot to put my number up so people could call in if they wanted to talk to me live. But the first thing we're going to talk about today, let's get on to the hot topic of today, the Suez Canal. The Suez Canal was unblocked today. The Suez Canal was unblocked today due to, I reported, I think that was yesterday or late Saturday, early Sunday, I reported that the Suez Canal was blocked, which it was, and the Suez Canal is a major choke point with billions of dollars transferred through that Suez Canal every year. Now, the reason why I reported on that, because that can slow down investors' money. We talked about 3 major companies like Nike, Costco's, and Intel could slow down things, right? So these big merchant vessels go through the Suez Canal. That blocks a lot of money, which supply chains is very huge in a company's profits and money, all of the good jazz, right? So we're glad to hear that that is now cleared up. So good job on the Suez Canals getting clean. Always a good thing out there for investors to see the Suez Canal is clean. So, now they're saying that I think it was called an Evergreen is the name of the ship, the big merchant vessel. They got it afloat, and now it's unclogging the area because it clogged that little area, which is only like a football field wide. It's like a ditch that you go through that makes Egypt billions of dollars a year. But I'm glad that they was able to get taken care of. The next thing we're going to get to is the Biden infrastructure bill. Biden infrastructure bill. If you are catching this live, tell me where you're from. Tell me where you're from, so don't be a stranger if you're catching it live. I see we got people logging in live, but if you're here live and you want to tell me where you're from, I definitely appreciate that. And I'll give you a shout out for that. But anyway, the next step, we're going to get into the Biden infrastructure bill. Let's first get into what is the Biden infrastructure bill. This is a bill that's expected to be put out on Tuesday. No, not Tuesday, but on Wednesday of this week. And we can see some great opportunities potentially coming in for investors with stocks and things like that. So pretty much, I think it's worth about $3 trillion they're trying to put into the infrastructure of the United States. So what we're going to do here, we're going to log in live and we're going to see exactly what that Biden infrastructure bill looks like. All right, so let me share my screen here and let's take a look at this Biden infrastructure bill. So we're going to head straight on over to, I think it's joebiden.com. I think that's his website. Yes, joebiden.com/green energy. Oh, excuse me. I got the hiccups a little bit today. All right. So in this bill, this is the Biden plan to build a modern, sustainable infrastructure and equitable clean energy future. So this is on joebiden.com. This is kind of his bill where he was kind of laying it out that it's expecting to put $3 trillion behind it on next year. So here we go. This is coming directly from joebiden.com. This says, we need millions of infrastructure, skilled trades, and engineering workers to build a new America infrastructure and a clean energy economy. These jobs will create the pathways for young people and for older workers shifting to new professions, and for people from all backgrounds and all communities. Their work will improve air quality for our children, increase the comfort of our homes, and make our businesses more competitive. The investment will make sure the communities who have suffered the most from pollutions are first to benefit, including low-income rural and urban communities, community of color, and Native communities. And Biden plan will empower workers to organize unions and bargain collectives with their employers as they rebuild the middle class and a more sustainable future. Biden will make a $2 trillion accelerated investment with a plan to deploy those resources over the first term, setting us on a irreversible course to meet the ambitious climate progression that sciences demand. Okay, that's a whole bunch of jargon there, but I had to read that in an extensive way, you know. Now, politicians always make it sound like it's going to be something groundbreaking, and it's more the same. So anyway, right here, this is the infrastructure part. He says Biden would make far-reach investments in infrastructure, creating millions of jobs, union jobs, rebuilding America's crumbled infrastructure, from roads and bridges to from roads and bridges to green spaces and water systems to electric grids and universal broadband, to lay a new foundation for the substantial growth, compete in the global economy, withstand the impact of climate change, and improve public health, including access to clean air and clean water. So he has something here for infrastructure. He got the automobile industry. He wants to create $1 million in automobile, transit, the power sector. He want to build buildings, houses. He want to spur construction of 1.5 million sustainable homes and housing units. He want to drive in innovation, agriculture. He wants to take over the world. So anyway, the big thing here is everybody's talking about the infrastructure. Here it says 2 trillion, but now it's 3 trillion. Where is this money going to come from? I don't know. Build the, send a bill to China, I guess. Right? So this is an infrastructure bill. I don't have a dog in the fight when it comes down to the infrastructure. I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm an independent person. I have some conservative views, some things I can go on with the left side as well. But the whole deal is, what does this mean to investors, right? That's the whole idea what we're looking at. But before I jump into that, we're going to get into what does this mean to investors. We're going to get into roads and bridges and clean and green energy that he kind of spoke about, and to see how can this $3 trillion, if this bill is passed, would affect the new economy. So let me see what y'all say in the comments before we jump into the next topic. Brock N, what's going on? He says, good evening, Prince. Brock N, I like profile pictures, hilarious. I think there's money too. You know, he got like a little Bernie Sanders look with some money in his hand. That's hilarious. Lucky's mom, how is it going? Lucky's mom, good evening, Prince, and everyone. How you doing, Lucky's mom? Brock N, Evergreen. Yes, that's the name of the ship that was blocking the Suez Canal. That started on Tuesday. They finally got it free today. That's very big because that can slow down the supply of merchants, because instead of going all the way around Africa, people can cut through the order of the ditch. And I always tell people personally, I've been through there, you know, serving the military. I've been through there 4 times in my life. I've been in and out of the Suez Canal 4 times in my lifetime on a submarine. That's pretty funny, huh? So we got United States submarines going through there. We got Great Britain submarines. We got aircraft carriers. We got all type of Navy vessels that are going through there. Not to mention the commercial side of the house that's sending supplies back and forth. So that's very big that they got that finally taken care of. All right. Okay. We got somebody here from Madrid. That's in Spain, right? You talking about Madrid, Spain there? I can't say your name there. It's I can't even say it. Kita, something like that. I'm in Madrid. So Spain, Madrid. I have been there before. I think that's what Christopher Columbus buried in Madrid. I know he's buried in Spain somewhere, but I've been through I have been to Spain, I think twice in my life. I've been to Spain twice in my life. So Madrid, been a long time, but I've been there before. Oh, Antonio, he says, good evening, Antonio, us out there in Philly. Right? He said, good evening, investing family. Glad to see you there, Antonio. And Kevin S, North Carolina is in the building. Okay, North Carolina. Oh, yeah, Brock, and he's up there in Toronto, Canada. I've never been to Canada. I got to go to Canada one day. I got to go to Canada one of these days. You know, one day when COVID releases the world. So, yeah. C. Matthews, he's over there on Twitch, checking in from Southern Mississippi. Nice to see you, C. Matthews. Peaceful Light. I already know what Peaceful Light is at. He's out of Phoenix, Arizona. He says, hey, everybody. Hey, Prince, watching the playback later tonight. Headed to work. No problem, man. A working man. Work, invest. Work, invest. That's the only way you're going to get out of the situation you're in is to work and invest. All right. So, okay, let's sip and talk. She says, good evening, Prince. South Carolina is in the house. Freeman Kennedy. All right. Nice to see you there, Miss Freeman, checking in over there on Twitch. Al, what's going on, Al? He's out here in Colorado. Good evening, bro. Andre, he says, good evening, Prince. Cedric, okay, so she is out in Spain. So I think that's one of the first time I heard somebody checking in on the show from Spain. Round of applause for Spain. All right. Good job, Spain. One time in Spain, tuning in. All right, Andre's from South Florida, Broward County. I heard of Broward County, Florida. Used to live down there in Pensacola. I've been all over Florida. But yes, thank you. Definitely checking in. Hello from the very sunny California. Vita, what's going on? She's back there with a cat. That's pretty awesome too. All right. Max B said, what are we talking about today, OG? We're going to get into it. Max B, what's going on? He's over there on Twitch as well. But let's get back to it, right? So that Biden infrastructure bill that everybody is kind of talking about, I don't know why my video is kind of slowing down on my end, but the Biden infrastructure bill that everybody is talking about, we're talking about how can you position yourself as investors? They're talking about releasing $3 trillion to investors. So it makes you think, ask yourself, who is this going to benefit? We know the government it's not going to go out there and employ everybody, right? Give me 1 second. You know, the government is not going to go out there and employ everybody. So who's going to do it? So this is probably be given out to contracts, or the government will probably start writing $3 trillion to build some roads and contracts and things like that. And that makes me think, who will be the person to benefit from that? Y'all give me 1 second. Let me put this, let me lift my camera up. There we go. It's kind of lopsided, but hopefully that ain't too bad. So as an investor, we have to look at it and ask ourselves, what's going to happen to, where's this money going to go? Where's this $3 trillion Biden plan? Where is this money going to go? Who is it going to benefit? It's going to benefit somebody. So the question now is, who is it going to benefit? Right? Let me get that out of the way. Who is it going to benefit? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about the Biden plan. We talked about the Suez Canal. Now we get into the Biden infrastructure. So let's go right by what they said on JoeBiden.com. Roads and bridges. Roads and bridges. Now, if you're looking for the United States infrastructure, you got to ask yourself, what is the best way to invest, or what is the number one way to invest into the United States infrastructure, right? Now, y'all ready for it? We're going to do a drum roll. And we're going to talk about what is the not number one way, but one way you can invest into the infrastructure of the United States. Let me get my little drum roll ready here. So I'm going to share this with you right now. So here's the first gem of the day. Y'all ready for it? Here we go. Where are my sounds at? I'll try to hide from it. I'm going to find you. Here we go. Number one way, ETF, the United States Infrastructure ETF. So let's take a look at the United States Infrastructure ETF, and let's see what companies are being held in one of the ETFs. There are a plethora of infrastructure ETFs. Now, granted, do I say go out here and chase everything? But yes, roads and bridges. Let's first start looking at the United States ETF. Let me pull this up. Not doing 1 second. My camera won't let me be great. Come on, man. Let me be great. There we go. All right. So let's go. Let me pull up my screen here. We're going to look at the infrastructure ETF. And let's see some companies that are in there. Let me log back in here. All right. Y'all give me 1 second. I'm setting this up on my camera so I can share my screen with you, so y'all guys and girls can see it at the same time. Was it? I think IR. Having a draw my blank here. Let me see here. One second. This infrastructure. U.S. infrastructure. Just had this thing pulled up. I thought it was still up here, but run all this one. I'm gonna find you. I think it was I. Y'all give me 1 second. I'm gotta look my symbol back up. All right. It was an Ishares fund. It's just a simple one. IFRA. That's what it was. So we're gonna look at IFRA. I knew it was. Why did it act like I didn't want to pull that up? IFRA. All right. Let me share this screen. So right now, ladies and gentlemen, if you are tuning in, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, comment, and share button. And right now, we're looking inside of the Biden bill that's going to be released on Tuesday. It's a bill to rebuild the United States infrastructure. Earlier in the show, we went over President Biden's infrastructure bill, and now he's looking to put $3 trillion here into this space. And if you put $3 trillion here into this space, it's like, hey, what companies are going to benefit from this quote unquote infrastructure? So one of the quick ways I can do it is to look up the iShares infrastructure ETF. So we're looking at the IFRA. That's I in India, F as in Foxtrot, R as in Romeo, A as in Alpha. This is right now trading for $34. So let's see how this infrastructure, just one random ETF. This is from iShares. I'm pretty sure you can use one for Vanguard, Fidelity, whatever. So let's take a look and see what they are doing. How has it been performing so far year to date compared to all of the major indexes? So right now it has outperformed the Dow Jones. And if it outperformed the Dow Jones, I know it's outperformed the NASDAQ and the S&P 500. So let's take a look here on my screen here. The blue is the United States infrastructure ETF, and the yellow line is the S&P 500. So not the S&P 500, it is the Dow Jones, which is the largest performing index right now, which is up about 6 to 8% right now, about 8%, I think it is. And then you're looking at the infrastructure. United States infrastructure ETF is about up 14 to 13% right now so far this year. So when you look at this, you're saying, okay, it is outperforming all three of the major indexes. We know NASDAQ, the tech stock, that's the one that's getting beat up so far this year. The Dow Jones is leading the way so far in the first quarter. And let's take a look at what is inside of here. So the next thing we're going to do, this is the United States infrastructure ETF from iShares. Let's take a look and see what companies are being held inside of this ETF. But before I do that, let me take a look and see what you guys and girls are saying in the comments. I got to make it interactive so that everybody, I get to see what everybody's saying as well. All right, let me see what y'all say in the comments. Brock N out of the Canada, he says, I might be moving up there, man. If things get crazy, people always ask, Prince, if you couldn't live in the United States, where would you live? Top two places that come to head, my mind is Canada, Thailand, off the top of my head. Not a whole lot of thought in there, but Canada and Thailand, maybe somewhere in Europe. They're our neighbors. They're right up the street. But Brock N, he's out of Toronto, Canada. We got Canada in the house. Let's give a round of applause for Canada International. So right now, you are seeing, okay, so Brock N is saying, print that money, national debt. Who cares? Print goes brr. The printer goes brr. So right now, Brock N is talking about, this $3 trillion. Where is it coming from? This is $3 trillion Biden's infrastructure plan. He's looking to propose on Wednesday his infrastructure plan that he has on joebiden.com. He's looking to push forward for that in his first term to put money towards infrastructure. And as an investor, you got to ask yourself, where is this money going? The money's not going to fall out the sky. Who's going to benefit from this? So Brock N is saying we're just printing more money. That's very true. Nobody cares about the national debt. So right here, C. Matthews, what's going on? He's down there in Mississippi on Twitch. He says construction, heavy equipment rental companies. Okay, we're gonna look into that. If y'all know on this show earlier, I said Caterpillar. You know, I always looked into Caterpillar Caterpillars has been having a great year. You know, the heavy machinery Caterpillar has been having a great year, and a lot of people don't know why. But I did a little show on it. I made a little investment into Caterpillar, nothing major, and it's been doing okay so far. All right. So Andre said that he said I'm in PAVE ETF and SLX ETF. PAVE sounds like it might be concrete land, road, something like that. SLX ETF, I'll have to see how those two are doing. You know, we may look into them and see how they're performing, right? So now you have CAT. Yes, Brock N, that is correct. Caterpillar is one that I'm talking about. Caterpillar, the richest man in the gold rush was the pick and shovel seller. Oh, that's very smart. That's a gem that Brock in. That is a gem. He said a good point. He said the richest man during the gold rush was the person who was selling the pick and the shovels. So he said CAT. CAT, C-A-T, is short for Caterpillar that I just spoke about. That has been having an amazing run. So Caterpillar is one. For me, I'm sorry, Brock in. I know you out there in Canada. I know we got Spain tuning in today. I know we've had, people all over the world has been tuning into the show. But the one thing I love to say is I love American based first. So when I look for a company, I like you to be American based. I like you to be fundamentally strong. And I also like you to be profitable. Those are the top three ones. Andre says PAVE. Okay. PAVE. We might look into some of those PAVEs, XLI, XLB. Definitely heard of those. United Rentals. I'm not sure about United Rentals. See, Matthew said also companies who manufacture construction safety signs. That's true. So now let's go a little bit further inside of this ETF. Let me see. Somebody else just said something there. Let me see. Catch this across the show. He said Levi sold picks and shovels. Smart man. So right now, this $3 trillion they're finna dump into this $3 trillion they're about to dump into your into this infrastructure, who are in line to profit from this move. So one of the companies I think is in line to profit from this is, drum roll please. I should already have my drum roll clued up. And then of course I go click on the wrong one. Right here, they have Builders First. They have the Vermont Industrials. I never heard of Vermont Industrials, but they've been having a good year so far. They up 37% in the last 3 months. Carpenter Technology. Caterpillar is one of mine, right? Sometimes I got to slow down and take my time. So right here, you're looking at this Vermont Industries. They've been having an awesome year, $235. I think they're out of Omaha, Nebraska. So yes, they are out of Omaha, Nebraska. It is a producer of fabricated metals and products. The company segments includes engineering support structures, utility support structures, coating, and interior coating. They provide coating. The engineering support structure segment produces steel, aluminum, composite poles, towers, components of the global flighting. Okay, traffic and wireless communication market. Okay, so they're right there. They've been having a great year. They're under the construction and engineering. So one thing I can look at right here on my E-Trade is let's look at the construction and engineering space. Now, when we go to construction and engineering, right? So right here, I'm looking at the construction and engineering. I'm under industrial. I'm under construction and engineering. And let's look at companies. Who's had revenue growth? Who had the most revenue growth in this space? Let's see if anything comes up there that I like. Top builder. Oh, no. I don't like what they're kind of putting here. Okay, Jacobs Engineering. Hold on. I think Jacobs Engineering Corporation. Who's heard of Jacobs Engineering Corporation? I think that company, I ran into their CEO. I think that company is out of Colorado. If so, I think they ran into their CEO. Let's see. Let's see if this is the one. They've been having a great year. No, this one says they're out of Texas. So maybe Maybe that's not them. So let's take okay. Jacobs Engineering is one. So one thing I like, it's out of Texas, which means no state taxes. Also, they have they're a profitable company. They're a U.S. company. Now I know they're probably outperforming them all major indexes. So when I look at their stock symbol, I put them up against the Dow Jones. They're outperforming the Dow Jones so far this year. The last year, they've outperformed the Dow Jones over the last year, but the Dow Jones wasn't strong last year. Let's put them, I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty sure they didn't beat the NASDAQ, but they beat the Dow Jones last year. Let's look at the S&P 500. So it has outperformed the S&P 500 over the last year. Wow. This company has outperformed them over the last 3 years. So I found them because in the construction and engineering space, this is the one that's had experienced the most revenue growth, right? So let's head over to the company. Now, what I like to do when I see this, I like to head over to the company's website, jacobs.com. All right, so let's go to jacobs.com. Let me share my screen on that. Brock Ian, you're hilarious. He said all the Canadian stocks suck. That's messed up. He said all Canadian stocks suck. Well, a lot of people jumped into ACB, which is a cannabis company. Everybody loved the cannabis company out of the cannabis, the Aurora Cannabis Company out of what you call it. He said all gold miners. He said Canadian stocks suck, all gold miners and bank stock. US is all the way. You guys have all the liquidity. That is true. We do have a lot of liquidity, and a lot of people in America. Yes. Is there a lot of bad things that go in America? Yes. But I don't think a lot of people appreciate how special America is until you travel abroad. Now I'm going to be the last person to say, "Oh, America is the greatest country in the world" and stuff like that. But when you start to travel the world, go to different continents and go to different countries, I've had the opportunity in my life to go all over Europe, all over Asia, all over the United States, East Coast, West Coast, South, things like that. America is a very special place. So, even you having Brock in here who's checking in from Canada, you're seeing people from Canada, you're seeing people from Thailand, Asia that tune into the show that's trying to invest into or want to invest into or is investing into the U.S. market because of liquidity and how fast things can grow. Right. So that's one of the things that I tell people about. I'm not saying America is the greatest in the world and the best, but hey, we got to look at it. LK Raw, my guy, what's going on, LK Raw? he said ACB sucks as well. Do not buy Canadian stocks, Canada stocks. LK Raw, that's messed up, man. We have Canadians that tune into the show. What are you doing? You can't say Canada stocks suck, even though it could be kind of true. But America, I tell everybody when I look for capitalism, when I'm betting on capitalism, I'm betting on America when it comes down to money and capitalism. Yes, do we have some ugly things going on? Are we printing money just like Brock Ian was saying? Are we printing money? The Federal Reserve is just printing money. Do we have an inflation problem? Do we have sort of problems? But if I had to bet, I'm going to bet on America because America has the biggest stick, meaning it has the biggest military. So let's do some more research. Let's look inside of this, right? So now we have this company called Jacob Engineering. Let me stop sharing the stream. Let me share the new screen here. We're looking for, okay. Jacobs Engineering. Across our company, across our offices, across the world, we'll continue to change and re-innovate tomorrow. At Jacobs, we make the world smarter, more connected, and sustainable. Okay. They have invested. The biggest question mark is our curiosity. We invest into your success. They're renovating tomorrow from Brilliant Solutions. Okay. And for the record, I do not own any of Jacobs. So, okay. So they have $13 billion in revenue with 52,000 employees. All right. So they have donated. They're giving money to mental health. Got it. Okay. All right. So I'm trying to learn a little bit more about this company because they've had an awesome year. They're in a space that's about to get loaded with some funding, or sometimes you got to worry about. Sometimes they could be a lot of their things could be baked in. So let's see what their latest news has been on Jacobs. So he took a majority straight. Okay, so he buying out companies. Okay. So right here, annual reports. I want to take a look at the annual report together. Let's take a look at the annual report together, I guess. Their 2020 annual report. All right. Is this okay? Dollars and thousands, millions, billions. So okay, they had 13 billion. So okay, so their revenue, their top line revenue is growing. 2018 it was 10 billion. 2019 it was 12 billion. 2020 was 13 billion. So that's good. Revenue is growing, but after the revenue, let's see how much they're taking home. Operating profits have grown. 2018 they had 387 million. Now in 2019 they had 404 million, and now in 2020 they got 535 million. 535 million. So the operational profit is growing. Their top line is growing. Their total assets kind of sitting the same. Okay. So they're making more money. Adjusted gross revenue for continuing operations is 727 million. Adjusted per share is increased. Okay. Let's look at that cash flow. Where's that cash flow at? So they didn't put their continuing operations in the thousands. So that looks like 357 million. Continuing operations in the thousands. Okay. So cash flow, they're cash flow positive. They're making a slew of money. Pretty good from the outside eye looking in. And they're in a perfect position for this Biden plan as well. So when we're looking at this, that's one company that I can look at all the way and see what we got to say. Here we go. So right there, I don't know why my computer. Okay, there we go. So right there, we can see that's one company that I would like automatically. Jacobs is United States built. It's in the United States. It's based in Texas, which is very tax friendly and business friendly. Number two, they're in the construction and engineering space. Three, they're financially strong. And what's my number four? I wrote all these down too. They're profitable. They're financially strong, and they are beating all of major indexes currently. So they're in a position to, hey, this construction and engineering space could start to see a nice little jolt and jump. Now, the next one he talked about was my darling last year. It made me look like a genius this year. Now it got me looking like a idiot. Green energy, ladies and gentlemen. Green energy. Green energy was the darling child in that last year. Green energy was the darling child last year, ladies and gentlemen. Great companies, great things, and the reason why I got into green energy because of President Biden. I had an outlook that he was going to win, and also what I thought Trump was probably going to win. But when I saw, both sides, liberal and Democrats, were talking about, hey, look, everybody believes in green energy. Nobody's arguing against green energy. Everybody's thinking green energy is green energy, green energy. So right here in Biden's plan, he keeps speaking of green energy, dumping us towards green energy, how he wants to turn all government vehicles to green energy, all of the good things like that. So that was a very good point that he made there. Make sure I got that, close that out. I have too much stuff open here. I'll give me 1 second. All right. So yeah, so with the whole green energy thing, when I looked at it, you're seeing green energy could now start to see another jump again, because green energy was darling peaking in 2020. It was a gem in 2020. Now you're seeing green energy become like the red-headed stepchild almost, where everybody's just throwing it away and it's just going down, down. But the whole technology and green energy sector seem to be going down. But you can see clear as day inside of Biden's plan, he has green energy. Hey, he wants to put more money to green energy, things like that. So I can see as he pushed forward with green energy, I can see green energy starting to take a nice fold or could benefit from this space as well. I think that his green energy infrastructure, as he helps build that infrastructure, because we know they're talking about putting electronic charging vehicles all over the country. That's not going to happen overnight. That's not going to happen tomorrow. But it's trying to urbanize us and build our infrastructure so we can have that, right? So I think that's a very good thing or whatever. So green energy, my green energy ETF is ICLN. I'm still holding on to that. I still got my end phase. It was beautiful last year. This year's not so much. It's okay. But the whole green energy sector in 2021 has been getting dumped upon. The whole technology sector has been getting dumped upon. But this Biden bill, if passed, can make a nice little joke into it. So we're going to keep an eye on that one. I can see green energy is another one that's going to benefit from this. So road and bridges, we already talked about the ETF IFRA, which is United States Infrastructure ETF. And we looked at the company J as in Jacobs, which is in the construction space, which is very strong, which is a United States company, profitable, making a lot of money, great things, right? Now we also have roads and bridges. We kind of spoke about that. We spoke about the green energy. The next thing we're going to get into, ladies and gentlemen, drum roll, please. Where's my drum roll? Bank stocks tumbling today, right? So today we've seen companies like Credit Suisse and a couple of the hedge fund companies start to take a little tumble today. And we want to know why they took that tumble. It's because of a hedge fund. I can't pronounce their name, but so I say that a lot. But it's a hedge fund company that kind of came in and had a bad day, I would say. So now we have to look at, as we look at the world of bank stocks tumbling, already bank stocks have been doing pretty good this year, because the market is anticipating interest rates to start to rise. Inflation is sitting at about 2.4%. That's okay with the Fed chair, Jerome Powell. That's what he wants. But the only thing Jerome Powell is waiting on is for unemployment to start to drop. But we have seen unemployment claims start to drop, which could affect unemployment numbers start to drop. And if unemployment starts to drop and inflation hits about 2.5 something percent, you can see the Federal Reserve starting to raise interest rates back up. And when interest rates are raised, bank stocks tend to benefit from them. But today we saw an event where a hedge fund, I can't pronounce their whole name, but essentially they made a call and the banks funded them for this $20 billion. And the company missed on their call away of the margin. And companies, Bank of America, not Bank of America, but Credit Suisse and a couple other USB, those banks kind of went out there and said, hey, we might be experiencing a problem. You know what I mean? So with that being said, you've seen some bank stocks start to tumble. Of course, I just made some more recent. I had Bank of America for a while in the past and made some money off of them. They were kind of flatlining. I left them. So now I'm kind of sliding back into the financial industry, because when you see the finances, those are the ones that are kind of building up right now. You'll see these bank companies starting to build up, because this is the market anticipating interest rates starting to rise. So with interest rates starting to rise, that's a very good sign of the market starting to come together, right? So when I see this, I'm very happy about that, right? I'm very happy about that. That's why I'm placed in that position. But we're going to look into the story real good. We're going to look into the story a little bit here to see about the bank stocks falling down. So we're going to read this report. I usually don't like to read reports, but I couldn't find any companies talking about it. But hedge fund name, let me see what this hedge fund name is. They defaulted. So this has come from Reuters. This is from Yahoo Finance. Credit Suisse was among banks to see stocks tumble on Monday. that on reports that some of the major lenders facing huge losses following a default by the U.S. Hedge fund. So the hedge fund got the money from the banks, made a crazy call option or whatever they did. Their money got called away. If they can't pay money back to the banks could lose money. So right here, it said Credit Suisse said it could face highly significant hit to its first quarter results. So right there, you're seeing these companies saying, so it costs some of the banks sent shockwaves throughout the financial industry. Some companies start to tank. I didn't see Bank of America on that list. That's one of the ones that I'm invested in. So I looked at it as an opportunity to buy a little bit more until I see Bank of America start to be hit into it. But this is something that's happening today. They're going to figure it out. They're going to be fine. They have enough cash on hand. They just went through a stress test. So I'm definitely not worried about, oh my God, what's going to happen to Bank of America now because of this news that came out. All right. So the first sign of some kind of brewing steamed on Friday. They kind of going into it. 20 billion stocks were sold and that they had got called away. So I don't look at this as a bad term. I just look at this as just something to get away with. It's an opportunity to buy a little bit more. But right now, if you look at the market is anticipating things to start to go up in return. All right. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to conclude today's episode. Not a whole lot there that I wanted to put out today, as usual, but we talked about that Suez Canal getting free, the Biden infrastructure bill. We talked about the Suez Canal getting free, the Biden infrastructure bill, meaning that bill is going to boost certain. I think some stocks are going to get boosted with your roads and clean energy, green energy, and roads and things like that. We looked at some of the United States infrastructure ETFs, how they have been slowly booming so far this year. Will that boom continue? We will see. They got $3 trillion they're looking to put into that space and also into green energy. I think this hopefully may get my green energy to start back being a gem again. I'm missing my green energy falling off like they did so far this year. So I want to see green energy turn back into the gem that I know it is, going on down the future as Biden starts to push more money into that. That's a lot of money getting pushed into those companies. So that's one thing there. Then we talked about the roads and the bridges. We looked at some ETFs there. We talked about the ETFs in the green energy space. And then we talked about the bank stocks tumbling, which I think is just bringing a buying opportunity into the financial industry. Disclosure there, I do own Bank of America. I do not own Jay. We did look up Jay, which is Jacobs Engineering out of Dallas, Texas, which was a great, fundamentally strong United States construction company that has been doing well for under the radar for over the last year. We did find them. So I do not own that. So I'm not trying to say I'm trying to push something, but that was the thing that we took away and that we learned today. All right. So I like what's over there on Twitch. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we're on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and we're on all major platforms as far as podcasting, Instagram as well. So follow us on all of those. C. Matthew says, under the radar, someone is trying to build a railroad to go from Canada to Mexico. I gotta see who that is. I haven't seen who that was. Vita says, good information as usual, Prince. Thank you. No problem there. But those are just some of the quick things that I saw going on with the market today. I think that the bank stocks that tumbled today, all the bank stocks went down. And, I don't believe in the Bank of America. Well, we have that inflation rate sitting at 2.4% currently, which the Federal Reserve like. As soon as unemployment starts to drop, I can see interest rates start to take back up. And which I can see happening towards the end of the year, maybe beginning of next year, interest rates start to go up. Companies that benefit, one of those is Bank of America. Bank of America, Citigroup, all those guys, financial companies, because they can charge more for interest because the interest rates are going up. All right. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I thank y'all for tuning in. We had a good bit of people tune in tonight. So I thank y'all for tuning in. Hopefully y'all got something out of the episode. If you did, you hit that like, subscribe, comment, and share button. But ladies and gentlemen, as you guys and girls already know, until that next video, podcast, cartoon, or whatever else crazy you see me doing around the globe, peace, be safe. I'm out, and thank you.